Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon, and perhaps even good evening. Thank you so much for dropping by and joining me for a spontaneous Saturday morning stream in which I'm going to test out my new PlayStation 5. I thought, it arrived yesterday, got a spontaneous email this week from Amazon, was on the wait list for like several months. And all of a sudden they just sent me an email saying, hey, you can order a PlayStation 5. Nobody else can who's not on the wait list. And we can't even deliver today. And they tried. Kind of an interesting story there. The delivery window was, I think, 4 p.m. in the evening until 1 a.m. in the morning, which of course didn't work out. So it arrived the next day, but really, really early. And I took some time setting it up yesterday. I had some other bits and pieces to do, so I'm not that much into it just yet. So I thought I'm going to check it out together with you. The Sacred Sage is here, and you threw in the towel with the Unreal Engine. Yeah, I don't blame you, buddy. It is just the learning curve is like, it's funny how super quick results can happen just very easily, but if you want to delve deeper and actually do something productive with it, that's a whole different ballgame. So one of those things, keep at it though, because it's a wonderful program. It's just, not all that user-friendly in some aspects, I find, especially coming from Dash Studio, one of those things. The Brian is here, and of course the Roberta is here as well. I hope she's feeling good, and I hope you're recovering from the week that got you a bit under the weather. Nancy's Art, wonderful to see you. And one person in particular I'd like to congratulate. It's Vince! It's his birthday today, so happy birthday. Let's go sing. Let's go sing for Vince. Very good to see you all. So I'm just going to have a bit of just a playful time. Before we get started, I had a little chat with Dominic this morning, and we talked about how to change the sensitivity of slider values in Dash Studio. And I thought, while it's fresh in my head, I'm gonna just illuminate everyone on this subject in case you didn't know this. So I have a regular sphere here, and sometimes you can just go take this any of the universal sliders and move it around, but sometimes you have vast distances that your object needs to traverse. If I go and zoom out, like out now, sometimes it's just I just need to move it even from out of vision into vision, and that's of course where all these little sliders come in handy. So move the slider here, move X, and then my sphere moves. But sometimes the distances are so vast that I can't actually. I'd have to literally just do this here for 5 minutes in order for the value to actually change. And thankfully there is a way to change the nudge sensitivity of any of these sliders. Did you know this? And that works on pretty much every slider, so it doesn't matter if it's a surface or a morph or whatever, anything that can be slid out that way. If you head over to this little gear icon here and head over to parameter settings, you've got this nudge value here, and that is on 1 by default. That means I suppose the position of the slider adds 1 or subtracts 1 from the value, and if you make that larger, then you can move your objects faster. So if I put this to 5 now and hit accept, and then I go back into here, and then so it won't change the sensitivity of the tool, but it will change the sensitivity of the slider here, so I can move my sphere much faster now. And it has to be set on a per slider basis, so my Y translate has not been affected, but my X translate now has. And I can also make it smaller. So if I wanted to have something that has much smaller increments, I can set this to 0.1. And then I can make really fine adjustments. So I can move the slider more, but my value changes less. So that is very useful. There is a funky tool actually that I like to use that makes it easy for me to speed up or slow down the sliders without having to go into this menu. And that is the Scene Tools product by 3D Universe. Specifically, Scene Tools 2 does this. I have it up here on the toolbar, and it's these two little sliders that essentially make that happen. So if I go and zoom in here, and I'm going to go and set the slider back to the default 1 here. Oh no, actually I'm going to leave it on really slow. So if I go and move it, it's it's slow. If that is not slow enough for me, I can go and press this on the slider with the slider selected here. I go press this once or twice or 3 or 4 times, and then I have an incredibly small adjustment value here. Likewise, if I make that faster, then my object goes at the speed of light. So there we go. I thought I'm going to share that with you while it's fresh in my head. The Kemi is here. How's it going? You could make the slider with different nudge sliders for the same thing. That is possible. You can do that. You can duplicate those as well. But you know, yeah, that's a good idea that you have like fast, medium, slow for X and Y and Z. That's not a bad call. That's a good product. That's a good product. Release it already. Good stuff. Anything else about that studio? No, not now. But at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're going to do a little bit of face painting with Substance Painter. And I'm going to show you how to export maps properly, put them into Substance Painter, do some face painting and body painting. And then we're going to go bring those maps back into DAZ Studio, and I'll show you several ways of how you can apply them. That's on the DAZ channel at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Join me for that. It's going to be super exciting. The Deviant is here. Do you know, speaking of face paint, I thought we're going to have a look at Forbidden West and have a look at some of the characters, because this is what they look like. So they all have various amounts of face paint, and with Aloy in particular, this is a screenshot I took on the PlayStation 5 yesterday. This is the original. I didn't know it did 4K screenshots. I'm going to go brighten this up a little bit, because what I didn't realize is when I go and zoom in here, and this is not a you know, I didn't really frame this up for that, but while I zoomed in, did you know that on Aloy's model we now have the Velis hair? That is kind of cool, isn't it? Is that funky or what? It's basically the same thing that we have on the Genesis character. Velis hair. I didn't know that when I took the screenshot, because I don't have a 4K monitor to play PlayStation on, so that was a bit of a surprise to me. I thought, hey, that's exciting. So let's have a look what other face paint things we can come up with, and then just, you know, drop them in here, get some references for later. I thought that's a cool idea. Also, let's go fire this thing up, see if it actually works. And then also I'd like to have a look if there's a significant difference between the PlayStation 4 and 5 versions of some of the games that I have, because so the PlayStation 5 does play PlayStation 4 games natively, but but there are technically two versions, so you can buy a PlayStation 4 version and a 5 version of the same game. And some of the games that I have that have come out recently, they have both versions on offer. So let's see. Hey, Miss Camilla, how's it going? There we go. That's a good sign. You start this thing up, adverts immediately. That's what we want. It's totally what we want. Welcome to 2022, where everything's about adverts. Does this work? Yes, look at that. That works. Controller, PS4 controller via a cable connected to my PC, just in case you're wondering about my setup. And that then gets streamed onto my PC thanks to a little something called Remote Play. And now I can control my PS5 with the PS4 controller. Hey, that's not confusing, is it? So like this here, for example, is the PS5 version of Elden Ring that I've only just installed. I haven't actually run it. And this here is the PS4 version of Elden Ring. And I've tested that out, that works, but I don't know if the PS5 version is significantly better or not. Likewise, Horizon Forbidden West, this is the PS4 version, and this here is the PS5 version. Thankfully, they let you bring over your save game. So if you've started something on PS4, then you upgrade to the PS5. These games, or at least the Horizon, lets you import settings from a PS4 and then keep playing. How exciting, Kemi, and how did you like it? So I've only played the PS4 version, and then there's also like things like this here that only exist as a PS4 version, but I haven't tried this out on the PS5 yet, so that'd be interesting to know. Other games like this one here, Uncharted Legacy of Thieves, I could go and upgrade this to a PS5 version, I think, somehow, somewhere, like over here. Like that, so I can go and buy this. Some updates are free, sometimes you have to rebuy them, sometimes you get a discount here. So we could go and see how significantly better this is versus the PlayStation 4 version. I'm super excited about it. And then something like Fortnite only exists as a PS4, as a PS5 version on the PS5, and as a PS4 version on the PS4. Do you know what? I know about them, Deviant, but I haven't played with them. Julia is madly in love with it, but I certainly haven't played with them just yet, because I have so many other things to do. Let's take a look. Horizon PlayStation 4 version, and we'll see how that performs. Yes, there's a huge crowd of people who make art with Midjourney right now, and Julia is using something called Night Cafe, I think. The most amazing things that come out of there. So it's got all like following in the footsteps of the art breeder thing. So very, very cool. Very cool. And it's also, I think Brian was saying that recently, it's kind of frightening when you see that the computer actually has more talent than the humans have. It's kind of crazy. It's amazing, isn't it, Brian? The stuff that you posted on the Discord, that was just, whew, I gotta say, crazy stuff. Yeah, crazy stuff. The things that come out, and also stuff, I mean, even if you don't use it as a final product, I always think it's wonderful to get inspired by that. So you say, hey, I don't really know where to go with that. Computer, go give me some suggestions, and then you go, oh, I might stick with that and combine this with that. So I think it's just nice to just go and roll with the flow there. Yes, right, you're Bob Ross, space alien. That is just so cool. And it's the most amazing things that you can type in there, whatever, like a raspberry field with lava on another planet, and it just comes up with stuff. It's very cool. So I'm about, I don't actually know how far I'm into the Forbidden West. I think maybe about 20% or so. So I've played a bit, but not like, vast amounts. I haven't played the game through, but I'm thoroughly enjoying it, I have to say. So this here, when I looked at that yesterday, I have to say this looks pretty much exactly like the PlayStation 4 version. So like the on the PlayStation 4 Pro. On the regular version, I find it's a little bit more, will I survive? It's a little bit more blurry when it comes to movements. So when it stands still on the regular PlayStation, it's pretty much comparable. But when you move, I think they have very clever movement algorithms that are applied that either add motion blur or they just don't draw things in as much detail as they could. So this looks exactly like the PS4 version. Also notice the frame rate. So this is 30 frames a second. Especially on faster movements, you can see that I mean, it's good. It's definitely playable and it's also enjoyable. But it's 30 frames, and I think that's something when I played Horizon Zero Dawn on the PC, it was a solid 60 frames. And while this looks cinematic, 60 frames, once you get used to it, you think, oh, that is really the only thing I want to play in now. And of course, this being the PS4 version, it doesn't have any settings here. I think they used to be in here under visual. There's like an additional menu item that lets you say, do you favor performance or do you favor resolution? But we don't have that here. But this is what it looks like. It looks okay. On the PS5 version, I don't see a significant change in visual fidelity, but some of the textures are higher res. So especially on the people, when you have a dialogue, you can see that there's things like height maps or bump maps that seem to just be larger and give you more detail. Let's have a look at that. So I can go and do that. I think PS4 version, PS5 version. I'm not at the same point in the game. I'm slightly further ahead because I played a little bit yesterday, but just to see a slight difference. There's also a bit of an improvement in loading times if you have the games installed on the internal hard drive. That seems to be like a very fast hard drive, but it's also fairly small, so I've put a USB stick in onto which I install PS4 games, so that's why PS4 games take a little bit longer to load. Here, there we go, import game from PlayStation 4. That's kind of nice, isn't it? So you can bring those settings over. That's kind of cool. And then also here in the settings under visual, we have this graphics mode here, favor performance or favor resolution. So favor resolution I've found is pretty much the same as, I can switch it mid-game as well. That's kind of nice. Resolution is pretty much the same visual like the frame rate as on the PS4, but obviously with 4K, higher 4K graphics, I think. Demon Souls, yeah, right. Or maybe there is actually with this a little bit more detail in the backgrounds. Could that be? But we're certainly not getting 60 frames. We might be getting something along the lines of 30. I don't know how solid that is, but it certainly isn't 60. So I can still say that it's not a fluid 60 frames. But this is with favor resolution mode. These are actually the ruins of Las Vegas, by the way, that Aloy had to go to in order to pick up one of the subordinate functions of Gaia. We can now speak to Gaia in this game, which is very, very cool. So the story continues very interestingly. I might as well go into kind of the wilderness setting that we have something comparable to the other version. Very cool to just check this out. I think it's kind of funky to do this. I love it. Vince, happy birthday. Super nice to see you. So nice to see you on your birthday. Also Neville, good to see you. Mr. Chris, good to see you. Let me go and fast travel for free. Kind of towards maybe, I don't know, here maybe? Here. Can I go directly there? I can't, can I? No, I can't travel. I can only travel here, I think. Travel, perfect. Let's do that. Travel! And it's the first stream you're watching on your birthday. Very cool. Are you going to be with us on the DAS stream at 4 p.m? I've actually worked out how to redirect this stream to the DAS stream later.
See you, champion. Sit.
There was a way to do this. No, I'm not going to listen to your rumor now. But actually she has...
If you walk by, you'll miss out on a good trade.
He has face paint. In fact, let's go and take a face paint photo here. Photo mode. And go take a look at what you got to offer. Shame it's night. I don't think we can we change the night and day thing here? This brightness, we can certainly crank that up. But it's also, yes, time of day. Let's make it early in the morning. Just so that we can see his face a little better. There she travels, the sun. And then it probably gets dark again. Yeah, got you. Yeah, maybe that'll work. There is a way to do depth of field, and we can go and auto toggle depth of field. I think auto toggle focus. Then you move into what you want in focus, and you do that. That's kind of nice. It's a bit like how Blender does it. And there is precision mode, wasn't there? Somewhere? Precision mode. There we go. That means you can make fine adjustments. Autofocus like this guy. That's the focus. Perfect. So that's good inspiration for the face paint. I think maybe a little bit of a bigger depth of field. So yes, this is one thing I've noticed, that if you look really closely on his skin now, there is a certain amount of skin pores that I can see that I couldn't see in the previous game. So I'm super excited about just being able to see that visually. That's awesome. Maybe I'll switch depth of field off so that we can... Ah, I see. If we get too close, no matter what we do, it's just blurry and out of focus. What a shame. Can we? No, we're actually too close to him. Is there a way to just zoom in? Yes, I think I can. Yes, face detail. All right. Yes, extreme detail, I've got to say. I'm very, very happy about that. Just that we can, that we can see that. That's just so cool. Is there a way to now switch the depth of field off? No, because we're using a prime lens, and I suppose that's just what it does and what it looks like. Pretty rad, isn't it? I mean, for a console game, I'm thinking that's just very, very cool. But also, I thought we could take a little screenshot and make this a bit of a reference for later. Also, perhaps with the whoops, dang, AI. There we go. Lens preset. That's it. 40. All that. Now we gotta be able to do something in the middle there. Where's the dude? Here he is. Oh no, that's someone else. SJ's lost in 3D space. Dang, let me go get out of photo mode and frame this shot up again. The nostril shot, Kemi, yes. Okay, let's try this again. Precision mode, no. And then I'll also show you the face paint that Aloy has. That's also cool. We get to switch that. So I don't know if I had that on the previous game. Maybe I haven't unlocked those things because I didn't play it on the highest difficulty setting. Yeah, there we go. That'll work. Whoops. Precision mode. Where is that again? The crazy things that happen when you have to control a sophisticated 3D application with a game controller. Sometimes it's helpful, sometimes it isn't. Okay, autofocus. Focus on this guy. Dude. Oh, he can't do it, what a shame. That is a shame. But okay, fine. Let's go and take a shot. How do I do that? Screenshot. There used to be... Oh, yes, I know. I do that. And then I think I use the PlayStation menu for that. I think. That wasn't it. It was this. That's the button. Yes! Take screenshot. Got it. Awesome. You can see them on the PlayStation app. Isn't that amazing? Very cool. Vince, tell me, since you're the birthday boy, are you a gamer? Because I'm happy to gift you a game for your birthday. I have a long list of games that I have access to that I could gift people. And if you are a gamer, do let me know. I'm happy to gift you something from my large list of things I can gift people. Let's see, is there a way to have a look at Aloy here? Yes, there we go. So she looks a little different as well in this game than she did in the other game. Maybe we need to go a different location. She also has face paint here. She's probably very similar. Let's go to a different location that isn't quite as confined here. And then if the sun was kind of here, we'll put her here. Play with the night and day settings here, and then see what we can do. So frame up, precision mode. Oh, there's also look at. That's something else we can toggle. So if you switch that on, then when you move the camera, she kind of follows you, or I think it only works with the main character, not with every character. Kind of cool. And she has... oh, that was the wrong thing. And she has face paint. There we go. So Karja... Oh, there we go. That's the one I used yesterday. Karja Hawk is this kind of makeup here. Let me go make that a little bit brighter so that we can... Let me go and see that better. Time of day. There we go. Hours of fun. Wouldn't that be cool, Kemi? This is nice. Let's leave that. No. But facial expression also crazy. That's not a good look. That is that's not good. That also not so good. Perhaps that's one of those things that I'd say rejects. Are the eyeballs popping out here? That's just crazy. So some expressions they don't work well, I have to say. No. I'm sorry. No, sorry. Yeah, maybe. No. Possibly. Maybe. Okay. Some work better than others. Nate, how's it going? I'm going to explore some face paints here. And also creepy expressions that come straight from the Uncanny Valley. Maybe really is usable. Okay, let's do that. Lens flare, face paint, there we go. So that's this, that's not much. This one's interesting. I like that. I think we can recreate that in Substance Painter because it's just 2 colors and a few strokes, and then some embellishments underneath the eyes here. So that's cool. That is also sweet. I might take a picture of that while I'm here. There we go. That's how easy that is. I like it. I like it. And I think all the screenshots are taken in 4K. And like I showed you before, we do see some vellus hair actually here, but only when you know what you see it. So that was a bit of a surprise to me. I didn't know that we had that. AI, there we go. Face paint, power shots, chain burst, also not bad, gotta say. Let's take that as well. Ding. Good inspiration for later. Or morning workout, really, in front of your computer? How interesting. Or are you doing workout while you're watching my stream? In which case, that's cool. I like it. What else? Elemental Fury, also cool. See if we can recreate any of these later. Not again, also nice. Body pose, I can also put her in pose. I'll leave her for now because we can just see the face paint nicely. Oh, and that's no face paint. Nora Scout. Nora Seeker. Oh, there we go. That's nice. Also, so some of the other things I've noticed is that, much like we're going to do later, the face paint here has some... it's not just the color value, it's also got roughness information. Like this is shinier, this blue streak is shinier than her skin. So quite funky. That's a nice one here as well. Banuk Shaman. And then also switch off UI. A mental workout. I like it. So what do you do then, Nate? What kind of workouts do you do? Is it like the training bike that I may have seen in the background there somewhere? Possible. That's nice. We should be able to do that. Black, red, and yellow. What flag is that? Excellent. I like it. Some expressions just know when they put that in. Didn't anyone say no? Did they all say yeah? That's good. No way. I like it. Let's do that. And maybe one more, because she's the only character that we can actually change body. Whoops. Facial expressions with, or actually rather face paints with. Oh yeah, Utaru. Also nice. I think we're going to see somebody else with these types of facial paints. Karja Noble. Very cool. Gotta say. And then we're back to the beginning. And I think we have that already. Good stuff. What other body poses do we have? Whoops. And look at. I like it. They did something to the hair. That might not work so well. They did something to the hair, so the hair has been improved. Very cool stuff. Lots of selfies. Potential for. All the screenshots you could ever do. This is essentially like Death Studio on the PlayStation. Crazy stuff. Okay, I'm gonna get out of here. SJ takes hours taking photos here. And I'll show you a couple of the other characters that we can examine. Let's go this way. Oh yeah, so also then in regards to performance, so this is the one that favors resolution, and it is kind of 30 frames a second. Sometimes it's even less than that, but it's, you know, it's okay. it's cool, but what I really fancy, what I really like, is if I head over to the one in visual, where I go and say favor performance. So that looks just like the PC version. So butter smooth 60 frames a second. I suppose it has a less cinematic feel to it, but a more video gamey feel now. And I suppose on 4K, on a 4K screen, you probably see that there's less resolution. But on fast movements, I really, really prefer this. So that's a big improvement. I do like that. All right. Let's go in here, have a look at our other friends. There's Zoe, that's a new character we've met. There's also Val. Val used to have a beard in the beginning. He no longer does that. There's also Arend lives with us. Here's Arend. I don't think he has... Does he have face paint? No, he's coming to terms with having a focus, so he doesn't really... He doesn't... It's difficult for him. These are Zoe and Val here. It's a bit of a shame that we can't see them through their kind of hover monitors here. But she is an Utaru. Him we've met earlier. Let's see. Photo mode. Check. That's good pose. Yeah, that is her face paint. Her face and body paint also nice as a reference shot, I'm thinking. Can't go too close, otherwise we're losing the focus. But yes, nicely done, nicely done. Exhausted Pigeon is a very, very good name. I like it. Let's do that. Let's use that. Exhausted Pigeon. Oh yeah, that's the other thing. If I say facial expression, that doesn't do it on this character, is it? No. What a shame. But there's a ton of them, I have to say. That is quite nice. Where's Exhausted Pigeon? Oh, it's not here. Was that on the... Where did you see that? Oh, the body pose. Come on, we can find it. Also, where is that actually happening now? Is that's on the... That's on Aloy now, isn't it? Oh yeah, there she is, right. Well, somewhere. The other guy I wanted to show you is Katalo. He is from a different tribe. I don't think we've met them before. He has his own room here somewhere.
Maybe Gaia will be able to get it open later.
That was not his room. This is kind of a base here that's our base of operations essentially. And we have a new common enemy that they are actually called the Zeniths. And Katalo was one of those guys that we had to convince to come with us. Katalo, you in here, buddy? No. Gotcha. Maybe he left. Maybe he's no longer around. Katalo! Oh, the other funky thing that happened is we've met another clone of Elizabeth Sobek. So that was kind of freaky. She calls herself Beta. And she basically looks like Aloy with short hair. That was a bit freaky when that happened. But also interesting, I gotta say. Katala is not in here. We'll find him. He has good face paint. I think that's something I'd like to recreate. Katalo! Buddy! How's it going? Here he is. He also only has one arm, so that is, you know, a bit of a problem for him. But I think Gaia is already thinking of adding another arm to him somehow. Let me go out and wait until he's looking up. which I think he will. That's no, that's down again.
The rebels may put up a good fight.
Perfect. Hold that pose. That is some nice face paint. I like that as well. Oops. And also body paint. So he has this all over his body. There's some kind of tattoos as well as body paint overlaid with one another. Very nice. Focal length. Make that a bit longer. I think there was also a way to roll this a little. I forgot where and how, but that was also possible. View roll, there it is. There, that's cool too. Yes, Catalo, good guy. Took a little convincing. He's a messy baker, that's right. Took a little convincing to get him on our team. But I like kind of the tone and the fact that it really looks like somebody has tried to paint his face and it got a little messy. I like that. All over the lips as well. So he's a nice character to kind of recreate his facial paint. Exit photo mode. And we can talk to him. Well, we won't do that. Let's see if we can find Beta here. That is another character I want to show you. I think she locked herself into some kind of a server room because that's where she feels most comfortable, I guess. This is an exit, isn't it? I think that's an exit. Don't know. Yes, that's an exit. Yeah, let's see if we can make that happen with Substance Painter later. This is like this goes down deep. That's also an exit. Yeah, so the story is that the people who launched the Far Zenith program that we've learned of in the other game. Yeah, I think is she in here? She was in some kind of a server room. So the people who launched this Far Zenith program, they came back to Earth. And they want to claim Earth for themselves, and they're now basically our enemy. There's all kinds of exciting stories that unfold. And of course we must try... And now we're back to Catalo. So I don't know where Beta is. We must try for them not to ruin Earth, because I think that's what they want to do. Which is not good. Could be that she's down here. Let me see if I can go down here. Could it be? Could it be? No! No, that's not where she is. Hey Jeremy, how's it going? Good to see you. No. Could it be that we have a map that shows us where anyone is here? No. We can see where things are, but not necessarily where people are. Yeah, that's okay. Or maybe it's because we just need to quickly finish that mission and give this thing to Gaia. I don't think I've done that. I've reclaimed this thing called the the Poseidon something for a subordinate function that Gaia needs. And I think Gaia herself, she's kind of up the stairs somewhere. Let's see. See if we can find her. That's Katalo. Katalo. That's the stairs. Gotcha. Okay, so Gaia is a hologram, of course. This is essentially the thing. This is the thing that was apparently destroyed by Ted Faro, but we found some kind of an incomplete backup copy, and we're trying to restore that. That's the big plan. And Poseidon is part of this big restoration process. So, and this is Gaia. Gaia, everyone, Gaia.
Aloy, can you come downstairs? Beta has something you need to hear.
Beta, perfect. We're gonna meet her.
I'll be right down.
Aloy, I have managed to unlock additional rooms within the facility.
Oh, good.
Got it.
We're going to check that out later. Sage, you make an excellent point about that. It's partly why I've held off so far on exploring iClone, because there is only really so many programs my brain can handle at the same time. And while it's cool to check out something new and see if it's for you or not, it's really important to focus on a core set of programs that you can use for your workflow and not get distracted by playing with other applications too much. You make an excellent point. And I found that there's only so many programs that my brain can handle. And if something new comes, it either needs to be in addition to what's already there, or something old will get ditched as a result. So yeah, very, very good point. Never trust an entity with an AI in its name, like G-I-R. Good point. How's it going today, Jeremy? Beta has something we need to hear. That's probably exciting. We should check that out. Is she in here then?
Better see what Beta and Varl are up to first. It's important.
Is that not where they are? Oh, we're going to here then. Good stuff. Let's do that. Beta and Varl. So she is downstairs somewhere. So prepare yourself to shock.
Before, but looks like it's malfunctioning.
This here, pry open. Let's try that.
Looks like some kind of maintenance space.
Indeed. Maintenance space, eh? Oh, this I think we can probably take off as well. The ancient supply box as well. We should have a look at that somehow. Where was that? Ancient box. There we go. Ha ha ha. Let's see. I think I've got this thing, the pull caster, that rips things off and opens things up, which is nice. Wasn't there another supply box here that I've just walked into? There. Yes! Metal shards, gimme! This is not where Beta and Vala are they? Open vent, sure. Hiya!
Power cells? Huh.
You made it out of the bunker for the weekend? Which bunker? You're home. Ah, energy cells. Don't know what we're going to use them for, but it's good to know they're here. I have a feeling this is not actually where Val and Beta are. Now let's go put that in here. So easily distracted. Much like 3D software, huh? We're so easily distracted. Hiya! Put that in here. Maybe that'll open that door.
That did it.
That did it.
Aloy, a bunch of lights just turned on up here.
Ah.
Is that you?
Oh. Huh. Yeah, I guess it...
I guess it was, I guess.
Hi!
Does he?
Happy birthday, Isaac. Daddy sure does love his little big man.
She found that recording from the data
She
on your
found the
focus.
recording.
She's been watching it a lot. I think it helps calm her.
You know, I used to watch this a lot too. Whenever I wanted to take my mind off things.
Daddy sure does love his little bit.
But there's something you need to tell me?
While you were gone, I came down here to check on her. Then we started talking. Right, Beta? She's been thinking about how to capture Hephaestus, studying the data Gaia gave her. But we started talking about some other stuff. You know, just getting to know each other, right? And then she told me that one of the Zeniths might be different from the others.
Tilda. You saw her at the Hades Proving Lab.
Go on.
On the way to Earth, the Zeniths never showed their faces. My servitor caretaker referred to them as my benefactors, and promised I'd meet them someday, when I had learned enough. And then, one day, a data channel opened in my training interface. In it, Tilda was waiting for me. In a virtual replica of a house on a cliff, overlooking the ocean. It
Interesting.
was beautiful. She showed me paintings, books, media files. We met there in secret many times. But a few months later, it stopped.
Can you tell us why, Beta?
Jeremy, classic.
I found some data about Tilda a while back. I think she knew Elizabeth Sobek.
Maybe that's why she reached out to you?
So that's Beta. Beta was made on the way back to Earth. And I don't know how growth acceleration works, but the Zeniths have kind of worked out how to stay alive for hundreds, even thousands of years. So apparently the people who left Earth back just before the big catastrophe happened, the Far Zenith people, they went out to seek, I don't know, life on a new planet in the Sirius system. Something didn't work out and they went back, and these are the people who we now meet here, like, you know, in Earth 3000 whatnot, but they're not the descendants of the Zenith people. They are the same people, so they've been alive for like 1,000 years now, which is interesting. And knowing, we don't know what they want to do, but they want to it looks like they want to reset the biosphere of the Earth and basically start afresh. They don't want to reboot what Gaia started on Earth. They want to essentially reset that and start again, maybe with a different set of parameters, we don't know. And in order for that to happen, they realized they needed access to these remaining facilities on Earth, which means they needed something like Aloy to open these facilities. So they made a clone of Elizabeth Sobek, and that is Beta. That is why they look the same, they are the same. And so Beta here can open the facilities just like Aloy can. But she's escaped her group of captors, which was the Zeniths, and that is why she now joins our force and tries to help us. That's a brief overview. How fascinating. How did your brother come into the possession of a bunker, Camilla? That sounds really exciting. Also, hey, I wanted to tell you this in person. The renders you've posted on Discord were amazing. That was really, really cool. I really thought they were fantastic. So phenomenal work. Totally different level to like, you know, the usual category of renders that we all post. So I thought that's really, really nice to see how that came together. It would be wonderful to see your kind of, you know, process behind it, how you go about doing that, and how you you know, how you set those up, how you get the finishing touches on that. It'd be really, really good to have a look at that. Wonderful, absolutely, very, very impressive. And I'm gonna go and get this this thing that you suggested. What was it called again? The one by let's just have a quick look. By I think I have it open here. No, that's the Necromancer bundle. That's not what I mean. I mean the one, also not Skull Castle. This is also looks great. But you said mega, what's it called? A mega scenery or something. Swamplands, I remember that was in there. The Mega Terrain, that's it. That's it. By Ravenlaw and Kindred Arts. So that looks pretty impressive what you can do with those things. Just as backdrop. So often a HDRI is just very, you know, you get an effect like this, but then everywhere, and there's really the detail is kind of missing. So this is what these mega terrains, I think, aim to alleviate, so that you can use something like a house or like a prop or something, or just like a character, and put it, rather than into an HDRI, you put it into something like this, and then you just have a lot more stuff to play with. And there's also amazing render settings that are set up, so I'm really looking forward to playing with that. So even if you had like a low poly house in the background here, that's just what's really missing is the believable scenery there. So all kinds of cool things that you can make with that, and they have a whole series around this. So it's not just swamplands that they have other things. Like here, this is a good example. It's a very simple render. It's just a character with some particle effects, but make that with a HDRI, it's a lot less believable than having something like this here. I like it. That's how they set it up. I really want to dig deep into that and share with you how to make cool renders with that. So this is not snow, this is a grey box now. What else? There is Mega Terrain, isn't there? Let me just look for that. Mega Terrain. Sandy Stuff. Winter Edition. Landscape Bundle. Ooh, that's nice. Multiple landscape bundles. Sandy Dunes. It's clever. It's basically the principles of level building in a game engine applied to how you do things in Dash Studio. I like it. I like it. Yeah, and then so stuff like this is difficult to do if it were just a HDRI with the flat ground plane. So with the slope, you can just, you have real geometry, at least for the ground, to play with. Multiple rocks. Can you imagine we get something like geometry nodes inside Dash Studio one day? That would be kind of cool. What else? Mega Terrain Winter Edition. All right. Snowy Mountains. Our View, I think that's a different category of fish. You might find people, at least who've used View in the past, Kemi. Dysenteries, that's a good idea. It's kind of cool. I like it. Canyons and oh, that's a different one actually. This is not, that's Mega Landscape. This is something else. Yeah, there we go. Very cool. Very nice that you could share that with us, Camilla. So I'm thinking we can chat to her a bit. We can explore a bit more, or we can have a look at Elden Ring. I'm totally up for anything. Let me know what you'd like to do. Chat with Beta, explore more stuff in Forbidden West, or shall we have a look at the differences between the PS4 and PS5 versions of Elden Ring? I'm up for anything. Do you know, Kemi, it's actually kind of cool to have tools like that if you have something that you know works for you. Often I think people go really overboard if you have something like a render that you want to make 2 characters and a landscape. You don't really have to do it all in one thing. So I like your idea of saying, well, let me render out the landscape as a flat thing and bring that into Dash Studio as a plane, because that just really cuts down on the render times. Do you know, Sage, I think what happened was that they found a way to keep going with the current framework, and they're still spending time on moving the Qt 4 framework over to the next to the newer framework. And I think that they're just taking their time with that, rewriting things that so that in Dash Studio 5, if and when it comes out, I don't know when either, but I think they're still working on making sure that when they do that, all the functions that we know from 4 are available in 5. I think that's the plan. Yes, I think, do you know, Jeremy, you've already persuaded me. I think I'm going to go buy that, play with it, and then we can totally do this as a stream. I'd love to try that out and just play with it. Might even be tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Who knows? Yes, Camilla is so right. Lots of stuff happening at DAS. Lots of stuff happening at DAS for the better. Did you hear this? There's another thing. I thought maybe I'll bring that to your attention while we're here. There's a new license that is coming to the store, and there's a forum discussion here. Maybe I can go and post a link into that. It's in the comments, and something that Travis posted. It is a new editorial license that we're getting on the DAS store. And there's a lot of confusion around this. Why is that happening? Why is this good? And DAS are scamming us. And that's not why this is happening. I don't know why I can't go to the front page here, but eventually I think I will. It's an editorial license that allows PAs to sell items that we cannot use commercially. And if you... Why does this not work? Come on. Load already. And this is a big deal because other marketplaces already have a license like that in place, and they allow content creators to sell things that the customer isn't allowed to make money with. So as an example, I could make a Spider-Man outfit that looks really cool as a fan art appreciation type thing, and because I've put a lot of work into it, you might want to use it for your fan art things. But you wouldn't be able to buy that and then go and turn it into Spider-Man movie animation and charge for it. Or you couldn't turn it into Spider-Man series of NFTs, so you can't do that. And maybe the forum thread is down. I can't really, I don't know. Let me go and try to just go there via the forums, just so that I can post a link to you for you. I can't actually look at anything currently on the... No, there we go. Good stuff. I think, was it in the comments somewhere? DAS Studio and then the comments. That's not it either. Maybe now that I'm logged in, maybe I'll be able to just reload that, maybe. So yes, that's what that's about. So it's going to be a third license, and we don't know how... There we go, that's it. Key EULA changes introduces a new licensing level called editorial licensing. This allows for a new type of content to be restricted to non-commercial purposes. So it means that if I wanted to sell my Spider-Man outfit, I can now go ahead and do that through the DAS store. So that's the big deal. That's why this is important. It's other marketplaces already do that, including people like TurboSquid, or Shutterstock rather, who are owned by TurboSquid, as well as RenderHub. These people, they do that. And currently, if I had an item to sell, I can't sell it through DAS, which is a shame, because if I sell other items at DAS, I can't do it through DAS. So now with the new license, you can. And it just means for customers, you can't use it to make money with it. That's the only difference. So you can't use it in commercial projects, because the content creator doesn't actually have the right to give you that license as such, and neither has DAS. And that's why previously they had to restrict these items and couldn't Brain, hello, couldn't sell them on the DAS store. So there we go. Oh, I see. That's interesting, Jeremy. I didn't know. Well, Sage, the thing is, you can still use the 2D outputs without the interactive license, just to be absolutely clear about it. If you make a VN that consists of animations as well as 2D renders, and you have the standard license for the items, you do not need the interactive license. It is only that if you were to distribute the Unreal Engine project as a playable thing that contains 3D geometry, that's when you need the interactive license. And that's good to know, Jeremy, that those standard licenses on RenderHub also include the interactive thing. Interesting. Thank you for dropping by, Kemi. I'll see you tonight for sure. Oh, that is good to hear, Brian. That is always something that was a little bit confusing with Reallusion for me, I find. When I looked at licenses, it was always very, very difficult. Yeah, but this is essentially to go to come in line with all the other places like Render Hub. I don't know how Renderosity deal with that. Render Hub, and if we look at Spider-Man, for example, and we see something like this, OBJ and STL, things like that, Spider-Man No Way Home outfit for Genesis 8 male, like this, for example. And that probably has, I would imagine, the editorial license on the extended use license, IP restricted. Ah, there we go. That is their way of wording it that way. Extended use license, this means that you may use the model in a variety of mediums, but because certain intellectual property depicted in this model may be affiliated with or endorsed by the original license holder, which of course you don't have the rights to redistribute. This model is subject to an editorial use only restriction, which limits the ways in which you may use this model. So these guys already have that. And then what was it on Turbo Squid? It's essentially the same thing. If we stick with Spider-Man as a great example, 3ds Max blend, $159, not bad, not bad at all. We have editorial license. This intellectual property depicted in this model, including the brand Marvel, is not affiliated with or endorsed by the original rights holder and must be used under editorial use restrictions, which in this case means the company or individual owns depicted intellectual property is allowed all uses in the 3D model. That's the rights holder. So that means, this is actually kind of cool, if Marvel buy your model, they can use it because they have the IP. That's kind of cool. Official licensee, you may have an explicit written license with the owner of the depicted IP and are allowed to use it. Documentaries, as an example, is a jazz documentary using a 3D model of a Fender guitar with an editorial use label which discusses the use of Fender guitars in their role in musical properties. Academics, if they want to dissect that this is what Spider-Man used to look like in school. Interesting. Editorial license is not, so there's quite a lot of things that you can use the editorial license for. So, you know, including portfolio renders. What you cannot do is advertising, merchandising, defamatory stuff, branding, no incorporation into logo, trademark, or anything. Commercial purpose, no commercial, non-news related purpose. So you cannot make the new Spider-Man movie with this thing and then call it Spider-Man 11 or whatever. You can't do that. Modification, a 3D model with an editorial license label may not be modified so that it no longer contains depicted intellectual property. So I don't really know how this relates to, do you need to get permission from Marvel before you can put your Spider-Man fan art 3D outfit onto any of the stores? I don't know how that works, but that is basically what this editorial license is all about. So it's not about DAS wanting to scam us, quite the opposite. They're going to give PAs a new opportunity to sell stuff they weren't allowed to sell before on the DAS store. That is what this is about. Ah, okay, good. Camilla, that is good. No, I think, Chris, it does allow fan art. I think that is the point of the editorial licenses, because there is a huge user group of DAS Studio that I didn't even know existed that use this not to make VNs or renders or commercial projects. They simply use this. Like Neko is a good example. I don't know if he's here, but he would be in that category. He does this because he produces fan art, and that is essentially what he does. And for those people, they sometimes want things like, if I needed the Aloy outfit because I wanted to make whatever, a thumbnail for an upcoming stream of this, I could use that. That's a possibility, but I could not then make a limited edition print of it and sell it, or I can't make an NFT with it and sell that. So I can't do that. I think that's what it's about. Interesting. So it's still that gray area that so technically, I suppose the license holder could still go after this guy, because they could say, hey, look, you're using our intellectual property in a product and you're making cash. So either you need to give us a percentage of that. So I don't know if that is included in this, or they could take him down. So I know that from my own experience with doing something similar in regards to fan art, when I used to make iOS apps, I used to have it's more like a programming exercise, but it was like a tracker app that would allow you to check off which parts, say, of a James Bond movie you've seen. So there's James Bond books and movies, and there's like games and all kinds of stuff. So I've collated all that information, and you could have an overview of what exists in this universe, and then you can tick off what you've played or read or watched, and you get a list of what stuff you haven't watched, so that you don't miss out, basically. And it was like, 99-cent app, and I did this for several of these types of properties, like Poirot detective novels and all kinds of other things. And each and every time the license holder came after me to say, you have to take this down, you're not even allowed to use this in a logo, in the name, you can't do that. So back then, and this is almost 10 years ago now, back then, this whole fan art thing, I think companies weren't quite as open as they are today, because otherwise, if I type in Spider-Man on TurboSquid, I wouldn't be getting 150,000 results. I would probably getting 0. And because they know this exists, so they could go and report these products, but they choose not to do that, because it's kind of, nowadays we realize it's actually good for your brand to have these types of items out there and have people playing with the thing, because then they're more likely to buy licensed products, or buy into this whole universe. But I don't know how this works, if a percentage of this goes to Marvel. I really don't know. And it's true. I think, Chris, this is partly why companies are now just no longer pursuing this as something. I mean, with YouTube, we have a similar issue that people will be using Simpsons footage in their own documentaries to highlight things, and rather than go after every single copyright claim, they realize, hey, people are going to be doing it anyway. We might as well let them, because it's kind of good for our brand if we become meme territory. I don't know. But yes, so that's what the editorial license is about, and we're going to see this in DAS products now as well. I don't know how this is going to work if you go onto a product, if we're going to see a similar box like this, or if we're going to see a special notice on this, or if we're going to see it inside DAS Studio on a product we're using, or something like that. So it's kind of interesting to to think about it. Right. Interesting, Camilla. And it's paid off big time, because exactly, I think companies realize that this is kind of crucial to casually slip in with influencers who then mention you and repost stuff, and I think also it's a bit like so I feel reminded of how Unreal, or how Epic approach game developers, that they quite clearly say, hey, look, we're not interested if you're making $100 a month with something that you've worked 5 years on. We don't care. Go for it. It's fine. If you ever make $1 million a month revenue and more, then you got to give us a license fee. But below that, we don't really care. Go for it. I think that's a nice thinking. Oh, really, Neville? Yeah, and this is because I think that's the old thinking. I think the old thinking is that this overprotective, making sure our IP stays only within us and whatever is licensed by us, but that's not how the world works anymore. I think there's a real realization in that, I think. Indeed, that's right. And I think this is, most indie developers won't even make $1 million. And I think it's kind of generous to say, do you know what? Learn it, play with it, use it commercially, make big money with it. If you make really big money, then we get a cut. But we're rich enough that we don't have to waste time and resources going after little people who go and use an unlicensed product. I think that's basically what it boils down to. And I think that's kind of how the world's woken up. I feel. Yes, editorial license. Good stuff. I feel like I don't want to talk to Beta right now.
So Tilda set up a secret virtual space where she could talk to you, a house on a cliff. Then later, she cut you off. But other than the fact that Tilda knew Elizabeth, you don't know why she did those things?
I don't, okay? I thought of every possible reason that would make her leave, but whatever I did wrong, I don't know what it is.
Okay.
When I finally met the others, she ignored me. Acted like the data channel never existed. None of this even matters. Tilda's the same as the others. It won't help us defeat them. Okay.
That is so cool.
Let's leave it at that.
Camilla, congrats. That's a good promo. Do you know, and Sage, you're absolutely right. This is how things also happen in this day and age. Whoops.
What's wrong?
I'm trying.
Walking through the door there.
well, but she is tough to take. I'm out there in the wilds, risking my life every day, and all she can do is hide in there and tell us how hopeless it all is. I'm sorry, she's had a rough time, but she is really not helping right now.
You always seem to be on top of everything, so I sometimes forget about what you've been through. I mean, it wasn't that long.
Yes, absolutely. I can imagine.
About that.
And that was on your old graphics card,
When I
right?
pulled you out of the water back near the proving lab, you were muttering Rost's name. You never talk about him, but he raised you, trained you. You must miss him a lot.
We all miss Rost.
But I don't have time to think about that now. I need to get back out there.
Okay. I'll keep working with Beta. Gaia says she knows a lot about Zero Dawn.
You keep working
Maybe
on
she just
Beta.
needs some time to adjust, and then she can help us with Hephaestus.
Sure. But I won't hold my breath.
And you know, the other thing about that, Sage, is that sometimes when you look at these editorial licensed products, you see real artists at work. I mean, the quality and the time and effort they put into recreating outfits is quite impressive. So there's a lot of talent out there, and I like the idea that that also then gets rewarded. I do like that. There's a lot of hack products out there as well. I just bought one yesterday on the Blender market, and that was literally, you can't really call that a product. It's a messy blend file with no instructions. That's not a product. So there are these things as well, and I feel like the Blender market people should have checked this a little better, and they didn't. Partly the problem of marketplaces that let you upload anything and everything without any quality control. Just trying to get out of here.
Plugging in that power cell downstairs must have turned on these holograms.
It must have. Let's go play some Elden Ring now. Actually, I'm just gonna go get out of here. Quit. See what Elden Ring PS4 looks like versus the PS5 version. Because I haven't checked that out. I haven't checked out the PlayStation 5 version of Elden Ring. So Kemi already knows it. I've only installed it yesterday, and I've checked this out, and I can tell you that this is progress 1%. That's probably all I'll ever do in this game. Yes, so there is, what I noticed off the bat with Elden Ring was that the frame rate is a solid 60 frames a second. That's the PS4 version. So that already looked better than the PS5 version. Than the PS4 version on the PS4, sorry. Yes, I saw that, Jeremy. I saw that. I don't know it's for me. I don't think it's for me. It's the assets are great, but as long as if they don't come with poses or animations, they have very limited use for me, I have to say. But that's just, you know, the way I work, so. So yeah, so I noticed that the PS4 version of Elden Ring on the PS5 has a lot more fidelity. So this is 60 frames. That is cool. Graphically, it of course looks the same, but response-wise, so this is not the response I get on the PS4 at all. So that's a big improvement here. There's also, if I go to the map, I think, if you go and zoom in and out, this happens a lot smoother here in regards to displaying the map. So that was a little bit of a... It took like a second or two to build this up and zoom in and out on the PS4 directly. Yeah, so that's neat. And that's an immediate improvement, but I haven't looked at the PS5 version of this. So let's see, just, you know, riding around town here a couple of minutes. Make a mental note of what this looks like, and then we can see what this looks like in the PS5 version. Very nice. This reminds me very much of the swampland that Camilla's posted there, the mega terrain swampland. Yeah, they do, but they don't include them in the projects. That's what I find so sad. You know, you see the assets and then you open the project and then none of those poses are actually included, which is a bit of a shame for the Sinti guys. I don't know why they don't do that. And if they do make them available, they're really difficult to find. I think they have a good opportunity to just go and sell those things, you know. Because I like their style and I just want to use it for still images because they're super quick and easy to render. And I don't really need to have that fully rigged and playable. That is nasty, isn't it? Ah. Haha. No! They're following me! Terrible! So, having made a mental note of this, let's see what this looks like in the PS5 version then, shall we? Just out of curiosity, PS5 version. Haha. That I got for free, by the way, with the PS4 version. I think when you buy Elden Ring for PS4, you get a PS5 version as well for free. There's an automatic free upgrade that you can get, but you have to go and buy it, kind of check it out and stuff, and you have to also install it. And then I think it uses your old settings. I don't know. We'll find out how this game handles that. Will I be able to go to Liurna on the lakes? Checking save data. This looks almost like a new game. Okay. Yeah, okay, fine. Retrieving latest calibrations. Oh, okay. Elden Ring game server. Ew. Welcome online multiplayer. Not interested at all in that. But we can switch that off. Ah, convert save data. That's probably how you do that. Ahaha. So new game is not what we want to do, but convert save data, perhaps. Loading PS4 save data to create a PS5 thing. Yes. All existing data will be overwritten. Existing save data. Yes. It's cool. Go for it. That's it, is it? We done it? At the end of the previous session, quit game might not have been selected from the systems menu. And now I'm offline. I like it. I like it. So technically this should get me to the same point that I had in the PS4 game. Liurna! Liurnia even. Liurnia of the lakes. Does this look better now, or does this look exactly the same? You never know what they did. It's probably hard to tell on the stream. So aside from the fact that maybe in 4K resolutions there might be a more significant difference, I don't see that here. Oh dude. Same, actually it's not the same performance. I had a more solid frame rate on the PS4 version. Gotta say, brutally honest. I do feel there is a denser fog, so I have a feeling they can probably render more. Whoops! Lobster! They can probably render more particles and perhaps draw distance as well. Jesus! What is this? Is this main? How am I dead? That's totally unfair. I think so too, Jeremy. I think actually the performance on the PS4 version was kind of more solid in regards to frame rate. I'm not sure if I'm getting a solid 60 frames here. I think it's kind of more like there's the occasional one is being dropped, so there's an occasional jutter here or there. So it's this whole discussion about new isn't always better, you know? Could well be that there's settings that I can optimize and unoptimize. This menu, seriously, who designed that is kind of... You have to literally just learn the menu for 6 months to understand how this works. I don't think there's any visual fidelity settings in Elden Ring. I haven't seen that. Oh, there we go. Prioritize frame rate. That's the only one that we have. Prioritize quality. So it's basically the same switch that we had in Horizon Zero Dawn. See what happens when we do prioritize quality. So then all of a sudden our frame rate really does tank. Also below 30 frames, so this isn't actually a great showcase, to be really honest. The John is here! How's it going? Whoops. Oh no. Not the lobster again. No, 2 lobsters, dude. Run away, buddy. I love it, and basically you have no chance. This is like the game now killing you. I love it. This is how the game does it. Spawn 40,000 enemies that you can't outrun. Super fair, thank you developers. Yeah, so new isn't always better. So in this case, I'm actually thinking perhaps I would just stick with the PS4 version and just have a good solid frame rate. Isn't that exciting? What actually? There isn't an enemy here that could have killed me. I don't get it. Try and put them in a pot. Exactly. What is this? Main? Interesting. Interesting to play around with these settings. So that's the quality. Then we have, and also the game is also fair enough that if you change a setting, it doesn't put you on pause as such. It goes and people could still, you know, get you. Frame rate better. Certainly better. Yes, I think fog density and all that is a little denser in the PS5 version. I think the textures are the same from what I can tell. I mean, I haven't looked all that closely. Yeah, let's go back to the PS4 version just quickly and compare it to that. Super fascinating experiments like that. It is so, there's so much vaunted Elden Ring. That's exactly what it is, yes. I suck at that game, John. It's a terrible, it's an interesting game because I like the exploration aspects and I really like how it looks, but the difficulty is just off this planet, really. So it's basically you step out of the tutorial room and you're obliterated and you don't even know what happened, and then you look around, you get obliterated again, and then you try to take on the small enemies, and it takes you like 5 hours to work out how to not die before you can actually start killing them. So it looks really, really cool. So it's the first ever Souls game that I've ever played. So I have no experience with any of the other Dark Souls or the Sekiro and all these types of games. I'm completely unfamiliar with that. So it's yes, it's completely new to me. Yeah, so here, rock solid 60 frames a second. Textures, if I look at them, pretty damn solid. So I think I do actually prefer this look and feel to the actual PlayStation 5 version, which is interesting. Just because I'm a performance guy, I'm more into performance than I am into 4K graphics. Fog density isn't actually bigger, smaller in the PS4 version. I can't really see. It actually looks pretty much the same, just with a steadier frame rate. I have a feeling. Interesting. Original Sins. Tell me more about that. I don't think I'm familiar with that. Oh, interesting. Oh, that's good. That's interesting to hear, Sage. Now that you've had some time to play with it. So a die-hard Souls fan says Elden Ring's a little meh. Interesting. I still have a feeling that the... Oh dear, these are like evil people, aren't they? Let's see if I can not die. Oh, ouch. Thank you, wolves. Much appreciated. Let's go get a drink before anything else happens. Maybe the physics thing here, like that. No, drink it. How do you drink stuff again? Like that. Perfect. God. It's also part of the issue of playing different games with different button layouts. This guy looks evil. He hasn't spotted us yet. That is kind of good. Do we need to talk to him? I have a feeling he's probably... doesn't appreciate... Whoa. No questions. Kill first, ask questions later. Oh my god, there's a horde of them. This is why I'd like ranged weapons. Okay, turn-based RPG, gotcha. Yeah, I don't think I've heard of it. So I can actually spend hours just exploring... Ooh, Fire Monk's Prayer Book. Exploring the graphics and kind of getting into the story, but then you're presented with a menu like that, and you have to really like item crafting. What are any of these things for, and how do I even use them? So the game doesn't exactly help you there. So unless you've written it from scratch, you don't know what to do, which I find difficult. It's not a pick up and play type of game. I think it received so much hype that many people who would otherwise not play these games bought it because they felt it's now a mainstream title, and of course it isn't. And I think that led to some confusion. Oops, hello. I should go. No, run, dude, man. So I think many people have bought this game, bringing up the sales figures a lot, who were really not into these types of games, including me. Yeah, that's a problem, isn't it? Where are my wolves? Why are my wolves not here anymore? Dude, also die, right? Also you, don't do that. That's not good. Don't do that. That's totally mean. Died the fiery death. Magic is OP in this. See, I don't know what OP is. I have no idea. But I know that I don't have magic, and my magic is pretty terrible. And hence I die terrible deaths like this. Totally unfriendly. Ouch. Statue of Marika, whatever, I don't know what that is. It's like little figurines, but all the ones that I think are Marika statues are actually some kind of other things. It's too complicated for me. Over my head, I'm afraid. Meanwhile, over in Raft. Oh, overpowered, got you, okay. Ooh, look at that. Is that the 19... It's not actually 19, it is 1500 runes. Yes, I like it. Should we try again? Or is my... Am I too bad for this? These guys might be a little bit too hard for me. So the only magic thing I have is the Crystal Burst. So I do have some magic abilities. My stats are Vigor 22, Mind 12, so that's probably, that could be higher for magic user. Arcane and Faith super low. Intelligence is relatively high. I had to do that just so that I could use a staff to begin with, but it didn't do me any good because the only spell that I can feasibly use, I think, is that. Oops, no, that's not what I meant. How do I do that? Like this? I don't even know how I use magic again. I thought I do that, don't I? No, that's not how you do that. This way maybe. Yes, like that. And what does it do? 10 damage. So it's completely just, it might as well, I might as well not try. Also, where are the wolves? Gotta get the wolves involved. No, don't. I'll do these guys without the wolves. Ow. Terrible. Wolves. Of intelligent, right. So if I bring that level up, my magic spells would do more damage, right? I'm hoping. Oops. This, nope, that, yes. Doesn't help that I don't know the buttons all that well. Where's this other guy? Like this guy here. Hiya! Also, once he does the fire thing, there's just nothing you can do against that, is there? You just die. You just die. Oh, I see the frame rate's going down a little bit when you have enemies here. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. But that would be even worse in the PS5 version, then, wouldn't it? I'm thinking. Hey, this is kind of the problem when there's a group of them. Also, why are the wolves gone? You guys just disappeared. You were here. You were supposed to help me through this. Dang. Can we bring them back? I don't think we can. I've tried, speaking of ranged weapons, I've also tried things like the bows and arrows, and they do like 1 damage if they hit at all. Also, it doesn't help that you have 11 types of ammunition for like 72 different types of ranged weapons. Over my head, I'm afraid. I can't. I don't get it. Oh, your mage has 28 intelligence, and he does kick ass, does he? I like it. Right. Yes, I think that's what I'm sorely missing, because a group like this, I would soften them up with ranged things for now, and then not engage in hand-to-hand combat. Because the moment I run in there, they just kill me, don't they? So, yes, but me not being a magic user, it's a bit of a problem. And I didn't know that in the beginning. So I think I need about 8,000-9,000 runes to level up anything, and it's only going to get more runes. And the problem is that to level up my intelligence, I would need like 10 additional levels, which is more runes that I could harvest in like you know, 50 hours, and I'm thinking, yeah, it's kind of where you either need to start the game again and start building a different character, or you just move on and play a different game. That's my 2 cents on this game. I can probably do that, yes. I can probably sneak and then see if there's anything exciting beyond that. That I can probably do. I can also outrun them if I go and use my trusty old horse here. Yeah, I'm probably faster just by running beyond them. I can do that. Hey there, guys, how's it going? If they get me with fire, then that's a problem, of course, but let's hope that doesn't happen. I think I really need to go to the west, actually, not to the east. Yeah, I think I need to go west. Let's go past him again. Nice. The west. Beyond that, let's see. I haven't explored this area all that much. Whoops. It's a bit steep. Wrong button. I meant to make the horse faster. Yeah, it's been a few weeks since I've played Elden Ring, and some of the buttons like crouch and use are exactly the opposite here and in Forbidden West, so yeah, that's more my kind of game. Yeah, west, I think, yeah, this way. So I haven't explored this at all. Let's see what we find. Lobsters and crabs and stuff. Ooh, what is this? This is good, isn't it? That guy. That's something that refills your flasks. If you kill it in time, and not get killed beforehand. Ah! Vow of the Indomitable. Whoops. That's good, right? I'm thinking. Wrong way. Gotta go west. Gotta go west. Ah! Grey foggy land, right? Yes, let's have a look. And then switch it to the PS5 version, because that just makes the grey just grayer, doesn't it? I see, that's never a good sign. You're absolutely right. Usually you pick up a game and get sucked into it and you go and you want to play it. But if you think, ugh, I have to go and hang in there for 2 hours just so that I can level up enough to enjoy the game, that's not good. That's game design. That is not good. Grey foggy land, Brian, you were right. This is it, isn't it? With lobsters and stuff. There's also him here. I mean, he's evil because he has 4 arms and he can ice me just much faster. Super mean. I'm not sure if it's actually good to fight people from the horse or not, because I guess not then. Because this guy, I mean, he can, with 4 arms, you're basically, you're just better than if you had 2 arms. Oh, that you don't want to explore. Okay, interesting. So that's the only thing that I actually like about the game, the exploration aspect, but it's hampered by the fact that it's not letting me explore as much as I want, because people like him, you know, ice me frequently. Where's that? This is kind of here. That's quite a way, and I don't have any traveling points there. Let's see if we can pick up our 2,000 runes without dying. Also, in Souls, the exploration aspect wasn't there, was it? Or wasn't as pronounced? Was there multiplayer in Souls? Or is Elden Ring the first one that has multiplayer? Because that's a feature that I basically disabled immediately. I'm not into multiplayer things. Unless it's a good round of Fortnite. Which we could also test for the last 10 minutes. That's not a bad idea, actually. Let me get my runes, and maybe we can go and play one round of Fortnite before we call it a day. I've not played that on the PS5 either, so that might be an interesting experience. See what the Unreal Engine 5 beta version brings to the party. Okay, interesting. I might check that out. When it's on sale, I might pick it up and just check it out and see how it compares to Elden Ring. Always good to know what people are talking about when you say something about Souls, and I'd have to say, I don't really know what that means. I didn't even know it was a genre. I gotta tell you, I played Windbound. Oh, where's the grey fog gone? I played Windbound, and I thought it was something like a cute little Zelda game, which of course it isn't. It has some strong Souls mechanics in there and how you survive the levels, and I didn't know how to handle that because I wasn't familiar with the way these types of games are played. Ha 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 ha! 2,000 runes. And now all we need is a save point, which I don't know if it's if or where that might be. And once I understood how to parry and how to roll and how to dodge and fight, I'm really enjoying that game. But when I didn't know that that's what I was supposed to do, and when I read on the online, well, it has Souls mechanics, I was thinking, I don't really know what that means, or how that makes me enjoy the game better. And now that I know what it is, it actually helped me understand a completely different game that was designed with those types of mechanics in mind. Fascinating, isn't it? It's not often that you find a completely new game genre that you didn't know existed before. It's like discovering a new food group. Stardew Valley, yes. That is always a good one. Neville, that is always a good one. Minor Erd Tree. That sounds dramatic. Sounds like as if I'm gonna meet evil people. Thinking that I could. Oh, him! Oh, hello. Yeah, let's not. No. I'm okay. No. It's cool. Don't worry about it, man. It's. I'm leaving. It's cool. I didn't know you were there. You stay there. This guy's massive. This spells literally instant death here. I wouldn't even know how to. Even running away didn't help. That's rude. Crazy. Ah, there we go. That's the safe point we've been waiting for. Oh, there's a castle there as well. That's also nice. Interesting. Oh, actually, let's save first. And then level up. Actually, did I do level up? I don't think I can do it. Just to check how many runes I actually need here. Yeah, 9,000. That's to level up stuff. So you're saying, what was it again, Sage, that I need to level up in order to get better at magic? Was it mind? Or was it intelligence, faith, arcane? I've already forgotten. Which one was it? Was it mind? I think it was, wasn't it? Camilla, I thought he might not have that reach, but of course he did, so yes, my mistake entirely. Intelligence. Oh, I see. So I'm actually on a good way here. I'm not like, you know, I'm not like a 10 intelligence, so, but that needs to be really like 30 plus for it to have any notable effects. What's mind then? What does mind do? Endurance, strength, dexterity, vigor, I understand those. But mind, intelligence for magic. Then also I would think faith and arcane might be something to do with magic. Oh, okay, that's, yeah, that increases your FP, but that makes sense. Now I see the relation as well. Now that you say that. Now that you say that, see, now it makes perfect sense. Arcane discovery, it says, and faith didn't highlight anything. Was for defense power, maybe. Could be defense power and immunity, possibly. Now that you say that, I see that whatever I highlight here also gets highlighted on the right, and I suppose that would then have an effect on it. Now that makes perfect sense. Sometimes you just need to, you know, put these things together. Interesting. That's also part of what I like about this game. It's one of those things that probably keeps giving for years. And over time, very slowly, you just learn all these things about it. Like Cuckoo Glitz, I don't know what that is. I have no idea. What does this say? Read message. Erudiation guide the... I don't know what that is or what that means. Part of the fun. Okay, here, all good. The game says if you want to quit, you have to go here and you have to go here. Otherwise, you get you know the finger next time. Oh, faith is for fire and healing. Oh, okay, interesting. Well, let's play one round of Fortnite before we call it a day, because I haven't checked that out on the PS5 either. This is one of the few games where you can't install the PS4 version and the PS5 version side by side. You have to use the PS5 version. Interesting. So that you can't compare them. This runs solid on 60 frames a second, but the PlayStation 4 makes a huge noise when you do that, especially on the menus, but also when the level loads and stuff. So Fortnite is an interesting one because it's for Epic, it's essentially the test bed for new features that make it into Unreal Engine. It's their product that goes and makes it a thing of like a showcase for Unreal Engine, essentially. This isn't 60 frames, by the way. I'm a little disappointed, but that might also just be the video. All right! You play Fortnite, John? How exciting! It's really cool to see how they've done things, how they've implemented stuff. It's also fun to play, of course. But one thing that I always find phenomenal is that everything you see in this world is one shader. It's one shader. The whole world is built on one shader, not the characters, but the world, and that's phenomenal. Indiana Jones makes an appearance. Vibin'. We should play together. Julia and I play together every once in a while. Indie! Licensed intellectual property, by the way. Much like Darth Vader. Not the editorial license. Bye, Neville. Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate you. Fortnite crew, we're not going to be joining any of these things. I'm going to use my what am I going to use? Diamond Diva outfit is always funky. There's also Zig, of course. Pink hair lady. Tuna fish. also in pink. Sunny, with also probably different styles. Don't think I got as far as unlocking the golden outfits. This is always my favorite here. The bear, Christmas tree, banana. Maybe I'll just be the Diamond Diva. Diamond Diva's good. And Battle Royale solo, or we could do Battle Royale no build. 0 build, let's do that. I think... Come on, let's do this. See how Fortnite handles on the PS5. After the 3-minute wait time to get connected to a server, of course. John, also, while I have you, I just realized, I don't know if you got my email, but I just realized that after we had a chat, we've just discussed Marvelous Designer and the rigid follow nodes with Chris in a DAS Plus stream literally last month. So that's not a good topic for us, actually. But what I thought was maybe let's talk about scripting. So that is something that I and many in the community know so very little about. If you have any insights into that, we could talk about that. Is that something you'd be interested in? Just get us a little overview of how to get started, what scripting is, what it can bring to the party, and just a few little sample projects of stuff that scripting can make easier in the life of a DAS user. Just a thought. Let me know. Yeah, it could be that my email went into the spam folder. So far, so good. Again, I don't see it looking any different to the PS4 version at all. I gotta be brutally honest. Some areas are completely unexplored, for me anyway. Some might just go jump out here, kind of fairly central. Jump! Woohoo! This is so cool to play this together. Jeremy and Beard Goblin and Julia and I, we used to play together. I don't know if Beard Goblin still plays, or Jeremy. But it'd be good to have more people in the squad, John. So yeah, I'll send you a friend request later. Get the squad back together! Yeah, no worries, no pressure. We can also just, just have a chat. That is also totally fine. But scripting is just something I don't even know how to get started. I mean, I know where the script pane is, but I have no idea where the documentation even is, or how and where to get going with anything. Fortnite has introduced a few new things. One of them is that we can now run. We couldn't do that before. We can also now go and climb walls. Certain walls, so like this would have been impossible to climb, but now I can just go on top of the what's it called here? The lorry. I could also do with a better weapon. I don't think this is a great weapon. There isn't any worthwhile. Gotcha. Maybe I would have either. That's probably why I would have probably found it, because I have looked before. There was one tutorial series on Renderosity, I think, that looked promising, but of course it wasn't. Sadly. Panther, how you doing? Panther, we have somebody in the chat that's called Panther. Should I buy this? Charge SMG? It's too expensive. I ain't doing it. It's too expensive. I think I need to set this up that the doors open automatically. I thought the settings would have been taken across, but I guess that is not the case. Go look into my PS5 settings then. While I'm here. Ammo. Yeah, so I don't see a fluid frame rate. Once again, disappointing, because that is something that we come to expect from good hardware. I'm going away from the storm circle, am I? That's just bad. Go the other way. I do like the idea of that zero build mode, because it's something that I can't build very well. I gotta say, sidearm pistol. Yeah, there's also something. Yeah, there's two settings that we need to go and quickly figure out. That's in. One is accessibility. And this is not where that is. Could be under game UI. There's visualize footsteps. I really like to have that on. But of course I have no idea where that is. I thought it was under... We could do the show FPS indicator. Let's do that. Let's put that on. That's kind of nice. There's also... Input sensitivity, controller readout vehicles. No, that's not it. And there's open doors automatically. Okay, cool. Thank you so much for being here, Brian, and I'll see you later. 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I hope Roberta is there with us. This is gonna take some time. If I do that now, people are gonna just kill me. Currently 60, good stuff, but it's not what I'm seeing. It could also be that I need to enable VSync. Well, that's only on the PC, isn't it? VSync, I think it's automatically enabled here. Dude, pick it up already. As Jay gets confused about the buttons. Gather, come on, gather. Okay, let's leave that car as it is and just go head into the storm circle as we are. I could do with a better weapon, couldn't I? $53 people remaining. I mean, that is... I've already made it. If you think about it. Thank you for the link, Brian, as well. That is very nice. Brian is one of my mods over here as well as in the DAS channel. It's really, really nice when you're around, Brian. It's nice when anyone's around, really. It's nice that you all are around. I've bought something from the Blender Marketplace. Oh, that's probably good here. From the Blender Marketplace, which is an animated book that I'd like to take a look at tomorrow. There's also something that's for Blender, and there's also something that Julia's found, which is a random building generator on itch, and I would love it if I could import some of those creations and just make a little camera path animation through something that we use with these randomly generated buildings. Maybe get some substance materials involved in Blender that we can then go and apply, and that's planned for tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Either one of these things. Animation usually takes a little bit of time, so the book is a product that I'd like to explore. And the... Is there evildoers up there? No. Good stuff. And the procedurally generated buildings, well, they're just a project on itch that I can show you, and I'd love to see what we can do with that and just import them, turn them into a little Blender scene, if that's possible. There's shooting going on over there. That's all we can say. And since it's no build... Oh man. Do I have ranged weapons? No. He doesn't know that I'm after him. Oops, he does though. I see. This guy is clearly after me now. $36! That's not good, is it? So far, I'm not actually as impressed with it as I am with the PlayStation 4 version. It looks identical, but I don't think the performance is as rock solid as I had hoped it would be. And maybe I'll play one more round, and then we'll call it a day. Bizarre, isn't it? Because you'd think they'd make sure that happens, but I see, like, you know, I don't see fluid movements. This is the kind of thing that I would probably prioritize in a new console release, or in with the software for a new console. But that's just me. Finding next match. Come on. So John, tell me then, the people who, if there's no great documentation, how do you figure things out in regards to scripting in Dash Studio? How do you, I mean, there has to be a certain amount of classes documented so that you know what parameters to call on them and stuff, or what functions to call on them. But if that isn't the case, how do you figure it out? 120, I mean, that's kind of a... it's a one-shot rifle. Trial and error. Oh, ouch. Yeah, I can see that that's difficult. I haven't played Fortnite in a while, so it's kind of nice to get back into it. It's mainly for time reasons, I have to say. Julian, I really used to enjoy that. I'll go to the Daily Google here. Right, okay, yeah, that makes sense. I can imagine. Really, Tuck, we're just talking about this. Welcome, by the way. Good to see you, good to see you. Yes, we're just talking about where is the documentation. Tuck, also, I'm still concerned we kind of maybe missed our messages last time with the Animorph script, the improvements on that. If you're on social media, you can contact me via Twitter. That's probably the easiest one. If you're on Twitter, just DM me there. Then we can exchange links and other contact details. Or through Facebook. That is also possible through my Facebook page. So much appreciated. Good to see you. Always good to see you. Hey, this is my new PS5. It arrived literally yesterday. And I'm testing out various bits and pieces that are... You know, how does this perform on... how does the PS4 games perform versus the PS5 games and all that. And this is the last one I'm doing, so... Still some settings that I need to set up for that. Oop. That's a good kick. Oh, it doesn't make me healthy? Terrible. No, YouTube doesn't allow the link. You got to be either creative, or yeah, as I said, just link it on my on Twitter. I think I'm Verse Lewis on Twitter. But you'll find me via... Oh, hello! You find me via YouTube here. Where you at? Oh my, he's got one of those bad weapons. Oh, it's him. Can we take him with 29 bullets? Of course we can. Crazy. Where is he? This guy? He's an NPC. There's another dude around. Hello there, soldier. How you doing? The Daily Bugle. Is this where Batman or Spider-Man live? Not Spider-Man here, the Superman. That's him, isn't it? Dang. Getting all these IPs totally mixed up. Is this a good gun? Well, the best gun is always the one that you have. I think I also need to play with the sensitivity of the joystick here. So this is all set up much better on the PS4 profile. I would have thought they'd take that over. So like, you know, turn around a little faster here. That definitely needs to be set up. Otherwise, that's the difference between life and death, isn't it? And that is probably under here, X sensitivity. Dude, seriously? That'll take a lot of time to recalibrate this. Let's try that. Is that better? Marginally so. Certainly a little bit better. Tell you, if your controls don't handle the way you expect them, that's death just right there, isn't it? Dude, halt! Oh, that was lucky. Yeah, let me just go reload here for the next half hour while you pump up your super gun. Aha! Anonymous 279, thank you for playing. Ooh, leveled up. That is good. That's the worst gun. Let me have the good gun. Also, let me have health. Or something. Firework flare gun. Is that better than the one I have? No. Only has 6 shots, so... Is that going to make me healthy? Yes. Yes, it will. Good stuff. Ooh. Right! Yes, we need to do that again. I'll tell Julia. Julia is currently developing a game on the core platform, and that's what keeps most of her days really busy. A striker pump gun. Yes, let's have that. And it's really coming together. She's working with a developer from the UK, and they're making a kind of a runner game for mobile platforms. But we'll also be able to play that on the PC. It looks really cool, and it's so much fun to see all the assets coming together. It's nice. So that's what she's busy with, and I'm busy with a lot of masterclass stuff, which is, well, it's finished now. We're currently hammering out a plan of how to release it. We don't know an exact date yet when it's going to come out, but it will be very soon. I can tell you that. Long-range sniper weapon. Yes, it's a tricky one, isn't it? This way. Somehow, beyond the mountain. It's difficult because we can't build, so I can't just build myself a ramp on this. NPC, gotcha. At ease, soldier. Get out and find a campfire. Yes, also good. Oh boy, this is new as well. Dude, where you at? Brain Vader. Ouch-a-roo, man. I don't think there's not that much wrong with me. Hey, that was good. I'm as impressed as you are. 3 weeks, really? Which platform was that on? I hear that on the Unreal Store, the amount of details that you have to fill out to get an asset released is quite frightening. Oh, come on. 19 seconds. Can I make it? Oh, as Jay gets killed by the storm. And I don't have any health. So yeah, that campfire is going to be more necessary than it was before. Come on. There's got to be something in here. What, really? I'm still running? That's terrible. Everyone's running. Is this a campfire? No, it's a lantern! Bloody storm, eh? These guys, he's just come out of the storm himself. So hopefully... Ah, there's a med machine. That'll help me out. Oh, there's also a little chest here. Let's have a look at that. Yeah, we're okay. Where's that medical machine? When you need it. Oh, here. Also hit the dude rather than, you know, next to the dude. Always good. I didn't mean to do that. I thought this was the duck down button. I guess it isn't. Sizzling champ, thank you so much for playing. That's, you know, Panther. Again with the Panther. Thank you for the, that's awesome. Man, now we need to get out of here. This is a what rift to go? Maybe next time. I think wasn't my car out here? Because the storm is coming. He stole it! Somebody stole the car, that's terrible. Okay, we'll have to use the cab instead. If it's drivable. 46% fuel. Maybe he just had bad luck, yes, like I usually do. 25 people remaining. My god. At least I'm not caught up in the storm this time, huh? Ooh, goodies. Anything useful here? Ammo, always good. Oh, I think this is where the butter barn is somewhere. What is that? Kind of a flying carpet thing. I could do with a health pack. Yes, I like it. Also perhaps be someone down there. Let's see. Whoops. That's not what I meant to do. No one's behind me, also important. Ooh, how did he do that? That's, I thought this was a no-build mode. What the? That is, well, that is obviously not good. Oucharoo! Well, hey, that was it for today. I'm gonna go back to the lobby, and I will hopefully see you all at 4 p.m. when we're going to do a little bit of funky face painting with Dash Studio. Well, not with Dash Studio, with Substance Painter. And then we're going to go and transfer maps from Substance Painter into Dash Studio. I'm going to show you the whole process back and forth, and we're going to try and do this with basically 3 versions. It's going to be really nice. See you there at 4 p.m. I've set something up that'll redirect this stream directly there. I mean, you know, it's not going to start for another 3.5 hours, but it should work. Let's see if the automation works. My friends, thank you so much for being here. Have a wonderful rest of the day, and I will see you later and tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.